What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie2988 coming at you live once again through the power of the internet. And today's video was supposed to be me unboxing the 6 brand new Amiibo from Nintendo. However, we ran into a little snag after checking all of the GameStops and Toys R Us's and Walmarts and Targets in our area. This is the only one we were able to buy. But I will say, if this is the only one from this wave that I'm able to pick up, that's not bad because she is beautiful. They did a great job on Zelda. She looks even better when I focus my camera, actually. Now, these things are hot. I mean, they are the toy to get for Christmas for a lot of people. A lot of people want a very particular character under the tree. And what we have here is a classic Christmas scenario. We've got a supply versus demand situation. A very low supply of product, a very high demand for them, and it looks like a lot of people are capitalizing on it. And when I got home to shop online to try to find some of the figures that I wasn't able to pick up in store, I found a bunch of news articles detailing that instead. Now, at the end of the day, I'm not complaining about the toys. This is ultimately just a glorified Happy Meal insert. What I'm complaining about is the business practices that surround it. So keep in mind, maybe we can learn something and we can learn to avoid these pitfalls in the future. So while scouring the internet for other stories about Amiibo scarcity, I found this article at Kotaku. Kotaku wrote Nintendo asking if certain characters would be discontinued because several of the characters from Wave 1, Villager, Marth, and one other, are almost impossible to find. And Nintendo said, "We will aim for certain Amiibo to always be available. These will be our most popular characters like Mario and Link, but due to shelf space constraints, other figures likely will not return." But they redacted that actually last Wednesday and sent another message to Kotaku saying that some were very popular at launch and they therefore may be sold out, but we will always try to bring them back in the future. So it doesn't look like Nintendo knows whether or not they'll continue to print these figures or not, and that's caused a lot of frustration and some hectic purchasing by a lot of people. In fact, when people were lucky enough to find these in stores or get their pre-orders, a lot of people have been buying them in bulk and reselling them on eBay. Some of the figures are selling for as much as $50, $60. And keep in mind, these have a $12 manufactured suggested retail price. Now, strangely enough, Zelda was not the only Amiibo I saw in a store today. I actually saw Little Mac and Diddy Kong at a Best Buy. I took them up to the register to try to buy them, and when I tried to, I failed. They actually told us that the street date for their product was not going to be until the 19th of December. And that seems really shady to me, especially if they have the product, because these do not have a street date. In fact, customer service directed me to their website where I could pre-order there and make sure they were shipped to my home. And when I checked that date, the date for pre-orders on the website is actually December 30th, and that's after Christmas. Now, why Best Buy would come up with an artificial street date for a product that doesn't have it is anybody's guess, but a lot of people online seem to think it's because they want to create some sort of artificial scarcity to the product. They'll wait till every other store has sold theirs, then put it in a circular saying, "We have it, come and get it on the 19th. So then I found this internal memo that went out to GameStop employees, and basically what this points out is that, number one, 3 of the figures are absolutely discontinued, and GameStop does not expect to get any more anytime soon. So if you don't have those figures, you're shit out of luck. And I think it's awesome that GameStop actually told their managers to let people know that. Secondly, they did let us know that there was some scarcity issues with the first run, that there was going to be rare figures, that they'll only be getting enough for pre-orders, they won't be getting enough for the store, and that they're actually going to be split in an A and B shipment for Wave 2. So this memo basically explains that GameStop is doing their best to get the product to the employees, and it's Nintendo's fault for not being able to ship it correctly or even produce it correctly, and that's just something GameStop has to deal with. They're always for the consumer, right? Not exactly. As it turns out, GameStop is in charge of being the exclusive seller of one of the Amiibos for one of the characters, Shulk, who is fairly popular. Now, rumor has it that they are only going to sell units to people who pre-order. All of the units they have that are not sold to pre-order, they're going to hold back for a while and sell as used at a much higher marked up price. Now, the source of this article is actually really reliable. It supposedly comes from a GameStop manager who has leaked information before and tends to almost always be exactly accurate. And it's not like this is the first time GameStop has ever done anything like this. They certainly did that with Xenoblade Chronicles, but that's another topic for a whole other video. Ultimately, it's a moot point because if you wanted to pre-order it, you can't. It's sold out on the GameStop website. Oh, and Best Buy, who can't seem to get simple street dates right, they're also in charge of an exclusive figure. So what we have here is a tale as old as time. We have a product that is in low supply and high demand, and a lot of people who are trying to scam suckers out of making as much money as humanly possible from that situation. It happens every single Christmas. So if you're one of the people who has a kid or you're an adult that wants to get these, you don't have to go to eBay or Amazon and pay $50 for one of these characters because they're now out of print or because they're scarce. Ultimately, you can probably guarantee that Nintendo has nothing but money to gain by printing more of these figures. You may have to wait till after Christmas, but I promise you, if you take a deep breath, everything is going to be okay. Nintendo has said that these characters will be back, and I guarantee you that even though if Marth is discontinued, he will come back when there's a new Fire Emblem game. Maybe it'll be a different pose, maybe it'll be a slightly different costume, but ultimately, you'll get him under the tree. So, do me a favor, and I'm telling this to myself as much as I'm telling you, don't let these douchebags exploit you, all right? It doesn't matter if it's some jerkwad on eBay who picked up every little Mac he found at Target, or if it's a big company who just wants to make sure they squeeze out every single dime. Be sure to, when you see this kind of bullshit, you walk away, like I did, or make a video about it. All right, thanks as always for watching, guys. I love you very much. And I'll speak with you soon.